Develop project management plan. In this video, we will try to learn how a project management plan is built. We'll try to see what are the different plans that make up a project management plan. We'll try to look all of this in this video. We'll also see the line management plans and the way the agile planning is done. What's the order of agile planning? We'll look all of this in detail in this video. Let's get into it. Okay, so the objectives for this video, I just summarize, right? Discuss project management plan, how to develop it, process in detail, and the iditos based on the exam content outline. Explain the baselines, what are the different baselines, time, cost, and scope baseline. Cover PMP exam concepts, know the subtle differences between the different plans and what you need to remember, and be able to differentiate the change management plan and configuration management plan. People keep asking this again and again. I thought I'll put this over here. And then planning in agile. So how do we plan in agile for one iteration and for a big release? Let's try to see the order of that also. Hang on with me for the next 15-20 minutes to understand how do you develop a project management plan. Let's get started. So develop project management plan documents the strategy for managing the project and the processes related to all the knowledge areas. So how many knowledge areas do we have? We have 9 knowledge areas, right? Starting off with scope, 10 knowledge areas, but to make the plan, we are going to take the 9 management plans and then integrate it in the final project management plan. So totally, we have got like 10 knowledge areas, and we prepare one project management plan with 9 sub plans, plus few more plans, plus few baselines. We'll see that in the next slide. Okay. These plans are set of document with processes, procedures, practices, metrics, standards that you want to the project stakeholders to follow to ensure consistent results. Okay, so project management plan defines how you will define, plan, manage, and control. It's like what do you do in planning process group, managing process, executing process group, and controlling process group. Okay, that's what the project management plan does. So the first part of it, the planning portion of the management plan, defines the processes and procedures to complete the planning of the knowledge areas. Right, so the remaining 9 knowledge areas which are there, starting from scope till the stakeholder knowledge areas, right? How do you plan, define the process to plan things? Okay, then executing portion of the management plan talks about how will you execute the work which is already planned, right? Focus on the process and procedures of doing the work. Controlling portion of the management plan talks about process and procedures to follow to evaluate. You want to check things, you want to inspect things, you want to audit things, evaluate cost data, then assess variances, escalate changes, create, analyze, forecast, and so on. Okay, so these 3 things, all plans will be doing 3 things: define, execute, and control. Okay, so management plans look forward in time. Okay, every knowledge area has a management plan. Now let's look into a very brief view of those. So scope management plan has project scope management or scope management plan that defines the scope of the project. It talks about how do you plan the scope, execute the scope, means you start delivering the scope, and then how do you control the scope, validate the scope. Similarly, schedule management talks about how do you define the schedule for the project. It goes to the activity level also, and then how works get done in the schedule and how do you control it. Cost management plan, same thing, defines the cost, and then how do you control the cost. Quality management talks about defining the quality. How do you manage the quality or execute the quality processes that you have laid down, and then how do you control quality. Followed the resource management plan. What are the resources needed? Estimation of the resources, and then followed with like how do you acquire the resource, manage the resource, and how do you kind of control the resources on an organization, on a project, right? Then communication management talks about different ways you have communication in the project, the frequency, the number of times you're meeting people, and then after that, how often you'll be meeting the different stakeholders involved. Risk management talks about like how do you plan to identify risk, how do you plan to kind of prepare risk responses, and how do you control risk. Similarly, procurement management plan talks about how do you plan, execute, and conduct procurements, and then control procurements. Similarly, for stakeholder engagement plan, you've got like planning of the stakeholder engagement, and then how do you manage them during the work being done in executive process group, and how do you control stakeholder engagement. So these are the 9 management plans, which together, right, all of this together come and then get into the project management plan. Okay, so all these will come here. So all these 9 plans will come together here, and this will be a part of the final project management plan. Okay, So that's what is going to be part of these 9 management plans. In addition to that, we have got some 4 more plans to talk about it, plus 3 baselines. Okay, all of this together finally makes your project management plan. Okay, project management plan. Okay, so you can see this 9 management plans are here. Okay, 9 plus this 4 and then 3. Okay, so that's about the management. Now, so management plan. So what are the other 4 more plans? Change management plan, configuration management plan, requirements management plan, and process improvement plan. So these 4 plans are also a part of the management plan, the project management plan. Okay, so project management plan contains 9 knowledge areas, 4 more plans. We just spoke about that. We'll go in detail later, then baselines. Together, it integrates all of this as an individual management plan. Okay, that's the job of project manager. So first thing on the baseline is the performance measurement baselines. Performance measurement baseline is important concept for PMP examination. It consists of 3 baselines, that is scope, schedule or time, and cost baseline. Okay, these 3 baselines defines the boundary, and then you've got the duration, and then your total amount of money you're going to spending on the project. Okay, so scope baseline has got the project scope statement, work breakdown structure, and work breakdown dictionary. That's what the scope baseline consists of, and then schedule baseline consists of the agreed upon schedule, the activity start date, and activities end date. Then cost baseline talks about time, phase, budget for the cost. Okay, so those are the 3 performance baselines. Now, for deviations from baseline, action is taken in the form of a change request. Okay, sometimes let's say you had planned something to do with, say, 1 week, you want to, it got delayed by say 3-4 days, you want to change the baseline. Okay, so at that time you're taking a corrective action. Preventive action is like having some trainings in place, ensuring people are available, resources are available, and defect is once there's an issue, you're going to take an issue. Okay, so not all of these change requests need an approval or performance integrated change control, because these are not kind of altering the baselines drastically. Okay, or the project is not going to get flop, or it's not going to become like say delayed or no value addition. And those cases you don't need a performance integrated change control or CCP for that. Okay, so simple change request can help it out. So deviation baseline action taken form of the change request through these 3 actions: corrective, preventive, actual, but the baselines do not change. Okay, baseline is still intact. Now, baselines can be changed to perform integrated change control, because you have to communicate with the stakeholders. If you want to change the baselines, then you do the process of perform integrated change control during the executing and monitoring control processes. Okay, very important concept for your PMP examination. When can you change a baseline? Only through a perform integrated change control process. Okay, when do baselines not get changed? The corrective actions, the derivative actions, and defect repairs. Okay, remember subtle differences. I'll put the pencil mark over here so that you make a note of these things. Deviations baseline is due to incomplete risk identification. Always remember this. Okay, so you go and identify all those 8 plans, you prepare all the 9 plans, and then you have to do a reiteration risk identification. Okay, then you'll make a better plan. As a project manager's performance is measured against the baseline, so is the project performance. Okay, so you will be tested and just based on how you are kind of taking care of the baselines, how are you managing the project? So any impact to the baseline statistically is also impact to your own performance. Remember that. Okay, now let's try what is the requirement management plan. So requirement management plan talks about the requirements, how the requirements are identified, analyzed, evaluated, and prioritized. Okay, and the effort to document the requirements and along with managing controlling the requirements. That's what a requirement management plan does. A change management plan talks to you about how do you limit the effects of negative changes, stands as a barrier to prevent unnecessary risk. Just because you have a change management plan doesn't mean you can keep on doing changes as and when you want with your free will and kind of take the project in danger. No, you want to limit the negative effects of changes and stand as a barrier to prevent unnecessary changes. Okay, that's a change management plan. It talks about how changes can be done, or it more so talks about like how to prevent changes. Okay, change management plan goes change control procedures, not easy to get approval for changes. Approval leads to levels authorizing change. Creating CCP plan to manage and control change. Who should attend meeting regarding changes? Tools to track and control request, emergency change process. So it's so remember this change management plan is more about how do you approve or reject something, okay, a particular change. Okay, this is different over here. Configuration is something different. Change management plan is talking about how ways to approve something or change something. Okay. Change control system is a system that you have in place to manage the changes. Standardized forms, report process, software to track and control changes. Okay, that's a system to control the changes called change control system. Don't get confused. Change management plan is how do you do changes. A system is like that, so like how do you track and control these changes. Now, configuration management plan talks about the deliverables, process, and resulting documentation. So it's like, are we using the latest version? So configuration is with respect to versioning. Remember that. Configuration is with respect to versioning. Change management is with respect to changes. Don't get confused. Okay. It's like version 1 to version 3, version 4. That's the configuration management plan. Okay. Configuration management system is like your Git repository, your source code repository. What system are you following, right? For the versioning of the documents or the versioning of this code. Okay, so these things we're talking about in configuration management plan. Remember this subtle difference for PMP examination. Then process improvement plan talks about good process help complete work with faster, cheaper, and higher quality. Okay, that's what it talks about. So project management plan approval. So once you have all the 9 knowledge area plans ready, once you have the configuration change management plan ready, the requirement management plan ready, uh, and then after that your process improvement plan ready, and then you will kind of have the baselines ready with you, and then you will get the approval from your sponsor on the plan. Okay. Then finally, once all the plans are ready, the iterations are done, you do the kickoff meeting. That's the last part of your plan. So kickoff meeting is you work with the team or the customer who's going to work on this particular project, or the vendors who are going to work on this project, right? Introduce each other, talk about the risk, talk about different communication channels, talk about meeting schedules, talk about milestones, talk about the timelines, right? So we talk about all of these things in the kickoff meeting. Important for PMP examination. Okay, expect some questions on this also. Okay. Then planning in agile. So finally, now let's talk about how do we plan projects in agile. So the first and foremost thing in agile is like we talk about value. What is value to customer? Deliver the MVP. We don't give everything. What's most valuable, we want to deliver that first. Then make a release plan for that MVP or that valuable thing on deliver the customer. Reprioritize the backlog. Okay, we kind of keep on prioritizing the backlog, what needs to be done. Then break down epics or features into user stories. Estimate these stories. Okay, estimate how much work can be done in iteration based on the capacity. Let's say we've got 4 people. How much can 4 people do for 2 weeks duration length of the sprint? Or based on the estimation, we can say, okay, this is what we can do. This is the effort we can deliver from this capacity. Define sprint or iteration goal. Ensure there is shared understanding among team members. Very, very important. Individual interactions are more important than process and tools. People need to talk to each other and understand what needs to be built, what needs to be developed, what needs to be tested. So a lot of discussions need to happen among people. Okay, that's where the success of Agile happens. Define done. So what is done? You have to get this defined by the business team or the customers. This has to be defined. Conduct daily stand-ups, remove blockers and impediments, prepare stories for next iteration, calculate team velocity. This is what happens for one iteration and the planning that you have to do. This is the order. Remember this for your examination also. Okay. So that's it finally. So how do you develop project management plan? So you work, take the input from project charter, output from other processes. That's the other 9 knowledge area plans, environmental, enterprise environmental factors, organizational process assets. So these are the inputs, tools and techniques. Now, so many people are coming, so many planning has to be done. Expert judgment, data gathering, brainstorming, checklist, focus group, interviews, interpersonal team skills, conflict management, facility management, meeting management, meetings. All these will be done finally to make the project management plan. Okay, so that's about how you build a project management plan. Important things for a PMP examination: know the differences, know the orders of planning, know what all a project management plan is made up of. It's going to take like 3-4 days to make a project management plan. You'll start working with the scope, you'll break into activities, work with structures, the activities, and then you kind of start estimating things, and then you kind of start putting on things like on the quality. Then you find people on the project, then you talk about the communication plans, then talk about the risk identification, risk mitigation. So all of these things will come as a part of a project management plan. Okay, so that's your developed project management plan process. Please do watch video a couple of times. Kindly like, share, and subscribe for more videos. Thank you for watching my video. Bye bye.